Good afternoon to all the participants who have joined us today. I would first like to thank Professor Nandagopal and AIMS, the Association of Indian Management Schools, for this knowledge sharing session, a new initiative which we have started. Today's session is on skill development and management curriculum. I will begin, I'll tell you what the format is. We have time from 3 to 4. I will begin with an introduction to our speakers today and an introduction of myself. After that, I'll speak a little bit about the topic, and then we'll have Professor Ganeshan and Dr. Gayatri take us through some presentations and discussions for about 30 minutes, followed by a question-answer session. So I'll begin by introducing Dr. Ganeshan. Professor Ganeshan has more than 3 decades of very active academic, research, consultancy, and administrative experience. He has guided over 35 PhD scholars, and which has led to the conferment of doctoral degrees in commerce and management, in specializations in finance and entrepreneurship. He has got over 6 books and more than 50 research papers to his credit. As the head of education initiatives in the Logistics Skills Council, he has led launching of apprenticeship-based degree programs in 50 locations all over the country. Professor Ganeshan, thank you for joining us. I think you are really eminently suited for addressing this very august gathering.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Our next speaker who will join Professor Ganeshan is Dr. Gayatri Harish. Dr. Gayatri Harish is a doctorate in behavioral finance. Her area of specialization includes finance, international business management, human resource account auditing, and education management. She possesses more than 15 years of international work experience in schools of Cambridge University and Portsmouth University. She has served as an advisor to students of Houston University. She is a professor in management and teaches MBA students. She has published papers in international journals and responsive books with high impact factors. She has taken special lectures in very well-reputed universities and colleges like VIT, Banari Institute of Technology, and International Institute of Health Management Research. Thank you, ma'am, for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you, sir.
A brief introduction of myself. I'm currently the Dean at the International School of Management Excellence. I went to Ferguson College Symbiosis and did my PhD at Anna University. I have over 32 years of experience. I have worked both in the corporate sector as well as in education. I worked with Marico, with the Australian Government's Trade Office. My last assignment was with Xavier Institute of Management and Entrepreneurship in Bangalore. I'm currently the Dean at the International School of Management Excellence in Bangalore, which is also called as ISM. Coming to our topic, I think a very interesting topic. India is one of the fastest growing economies in the world, and so almost every sector is growing. Growth means that there is a great demand for skilled workforce. Skill and knowledge are the driving forces of economic growth and social development of any country. They have become more important given the increasing pace of globalization and technological changes. As India progressively moves towards the knowledge economy, the skill sets required range from professional, conceptual, managerial, operational, behavioral to interpersonal and inter-domain skills. While we have several polytechnics and ITIs, this discussion is based on is focused on management education. So the criticality of skill development in our overall strategy is that if we get our skill development act right, we will be harnessing the so-called demographic dividend we all keep speaking about. That 50% of our population is less than 25, 65% of our population is less than 35. It's very important to get the skill development piece right. Skill development basically means developing an individual to add value to himself for his own career development, to the organization. And hence, I think this is a very, very important topic. Majority of our management students, we all know, do not possess industry-ready skills. We have our NEP 2020, which has now come, which will help us to have and focus on industry-oriented programs and a more practical approach. This is the broad introduction that I would like to give. I would now like to hand it over to Professor Ganeshan and Dr. Gayatri to take us through for the next 30 minutes on their views on skill development for the management curriculum. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Roni. And at the outset, I thank Dr. Nandagopal for creating this opportunity for presenting skill-oriented educational programs to the august audience of AIMS member institutions. I thank Roni and I thank Gayatri, my colleague, who has joined in this program. Thank you very much. And straight away, let me start my presentation. Please don't bother. This is a very small presentation, and I will not take much time in presenting this. And I also believe in interactions. So let us very quickly complete my presentation and then go for an interaction. I'm just sharing my screen, and then please let me know whether you see this. Any one of you can tell me. So my presentation is visible? Yes?
Yes, you can go.
Okay. The whole focus of my presentation today, or our presentation today, is how to embed apprenticeship in the educational programs at the higher education level. That's the main focus. And I would like to tell you this, all of you know this, like me, all of you are hardcore academicians and had gone through a large number of accreditation processes, and you also know very well about outcome-based education, and people who knows about this know very well that KSA is very important in the educational sector, and any student or any learner comes to a program, joins a program only for acquiring these three very important aspects of education. But however, in educational institution like ours, what we can provide to the students is only knowledge. We cannot give them on-the-job training, because skill can be obtained only through on-the-job training. And for this, they have to go to industry only. And similarly, attitude can be acquired by any person only at the workplace, not at the educational institution. See, any education institution can simulate a work environment within the college premises or institutional premises, but it cannot be compared with the real on-the-job training that a student or a learner is getting in the industry, and similarly, attitude that he or she acquires in the workplace. Very quickly, let me compare the internship and apprenticeship, because when it comes to apprenticeship, like you, I was also little confused in the earlier days before I joined here. I used to consider internship and apprenticeship one and the same, but it is not so. And this you can get to know from this short table, where I am trying to give you a comparison between internship and apprenticeship. And as far as an industry, providing internship to somebody is only optional. There is no guidelines about that. Whereas providing apprenticeship by a company is compulsory. This is by law. Similarly, stipend also, a company may give a stipend or may not give the stipend, whereas it is compulsory. In the case of apprenticeship, when a student goes on internship, in most cases, I am not taking into account the exceptional cases of 5%, whereas 95% of the students, when they go to a company, they are allowed only to observe, not to do anything. Whereas in the case of apprenticeship, by law, the companies have to give them on-the-job training or job, real job. The internship is governed by the rules and regulations framed by the companies itself. Companies providing internship, whereas apprenticeship is governed legally by the government, particularly central government. The term of internship normally is only about 3 months to 6 months. 6 months is very long. Normally, it is only 3 or 4 or 5 maximum. Whereas in the case of apprenticeship, the minimum period of apprenticeship itself is 6 months. Less than that, a company cannot give apprenticeship, and the maximum is 36 months. The certificate of completion of apprenticeship is given by the government, whereas internship completion certificate is given by only the company. So these are all major differences, and some more differences I would like to tell you. This is how apprenticeship is defined in the Apprentices Act 1961. And some of you teaching the legal environment of business and the laws relating to HR might have already come across an act, a central act called Apprentices Act, enacted in 1961 and then amended many times later. And as per this act, apprenticeship is defined as on-the-job training given at the workplace in the industry. This is a legal engagement between the apprentice and the industry by virtue of a contract of apprenticeship. And this contract of apprenticeship is also, there is a template, and only in that template the contract can be created. And in fact, that template or the contract is also generated automatically in the online system of apprenticeship. There is a national portal called National Apprenticeship Portal, and in that portal, everything will be generated. As per law, a minimum of 2.5% of total employees working in any company should be apprentices. And for this, the Apprentices Act takes into account any company which is employing more than 25 people. The company may be a manufacturing company, it might be even a service company, it can be a trading company, any business employing more than 25 employees, reckoning both full-time as well as contract employees. They have to necessarily appoint 2.5% apprentices. The period of apprenticeship, I have already told you, minimum is 6 months, maximum is 36 months, and each apprentice is eligible to draw a monthly stipend of 7,500 rupees from the company. Companies have to pay this. There is a check and balance. There are checks and balances to check whether the company is releasing this. You will come to know later on another slide. And a spell of apprenticeship, which is for 6 months minimum, is in line with our academic systems, academic semester system. And each spell of apprenticeship is considered as a core course and carries an academic credit of 24. Why we need to embed the apprenticeship in degree curriculum or higher education? There are a few points, like only the apprenticeship can provide skill and attitude to the students. The knowledge will be given by the institute. And another objective is to create skilled logisticians for gainful employment in logistics industry, to facilitate the students to earn while they learn, because even if we provide 1 semester apprenticeship, for 6 months, they'll be getting minimum 7,500 rupees every month. To make the graduates industry ready and to reduce the gap between graduation date and employment date to 0, and finally to comply with the norms and standards of NEP 2020. These are all some of the purposes for which apprenticeship shall be embedded in the degree curriculum. And when it comes to the need, why we need to create logistics discipline as a knowledge discipline, we have to tell, all of you know, I think all of you are in this business administration or commerce background. And even today, most of you, I can tell, do not know what logistics is in a proper sense. And when we compare ourselves as academicians working in institutions, maybe for teaching purpose, we might have come to know about logistics. But if you carefully see the school education itself, until the 12th standard is crossed, a student does not know anything about logistics. Whereas they know about IT, they know about mechanical engineering, they know about electronics, but when it comes to logistics, nobody knows about logistics even after they cross the school education, in spite of the fact that this industry is a very vibrant industry contributing more than 14% to the GDP of the country. It employs more than 1.5 billion people at various levels, from shop floor to the managerial levels. The sector gets more professionalized today and modernized because of a lot of modern techniques. particularly in terms of SAP, and then you may know about how Amazon is working or Flipkart is working. And when you order something online, some of the companies assure 24-hour delivery. On the same day delivery is also there. So you know how this is professionalized, how IT is used enormously to a large extent for ensuring the logistics. And then it also, the industry needs a large number of skilled resources, particularly youth, for employment at the various levels. That is why LSE from 1917 onwards has taken on its mandate to create logistics as a separate discipline of knowledge, vertical knowledge, and it has taken up a lot of initiatives right from the school education onwards. These are all the subsectors. I don't want to tell you more about logistics, but I would like to tell you what are included in the logistics sector. The logistics sector is scoped into 12 subsectors. One is warehousing, land transportation, courier and express services, port terminals, ICDs, CFS, air cargo operations, cold chain for agri-logistics, e-commerce, inland waterways and maritime services, liquid logistics, rail logistics, EXIM logistics, and supply chain. These are all 12 subsectors. Now you may know how vibrant is this sector called logistics, which we ignored for nearly 60 years. This is very shortly about the Logistics Sector Skill Council. I have to tell you why you need to know about LSE is LSE has done a lot of things to create logistics as a knowledge discipline. Plus, it has also designed apprenticeship embedded degree programs on various very vibrant subsectors of logistics. And now our programs, degree programs, are on offer in about 80 higher educational institutions across the country. So we had been established in the year 2014, but we started functioning from 2015 onwards. This is an autonomous body of the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, and our standard setting body is NSTC. Now the National Council for NCVET, National Council for Vocational Education and Training, is also getting into the role of NSTC very slowly. And this is mandated to facilitate creation of skilled resources for employment from shop floor level to the higher levels in logistics sectors. We are actively engaging with more than 100 leading logistics companies for systematizing and improving the logistics profession. At the school level, I think Gayatri is here. Gayatri, can you briefly explain this?
Yes,
Yes.
So as process said that we have started from the school education. The reason is that many of our students in class 11 or 12, or maybe we can say that in 12th only they are deciding that where to go, what to study. So to avoid this rush and going ultimately to the engineering or maybe the medical based courses. So this logistics literacy program in the level 1 and 2, meaning class 9 and 11, we are introduced in especially the level 1, we introduced in 3 schools, 3 states, especially Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra and Telangana, which is with the support of the World Bank support. We have done that project successfully and around 2,000 students got benefited on that. So this is from this coming academic year, we are introducing, I can say that from this academic year, we are launching our school programs, especially from CBSE, PSSCIB, and NIOS, National Institute of Open Schooling System. So this all, these 3 streams, we are getting into the school education. As Professor he said that there are many process which is computer based. So I would like to insist here that in PSSAV, they have said that that NCVT, they have insisted us to introduce the skill program for the class 11 and 12 with a futuristic job role, meaning with IoT, ML, and AI. These three factors they are asking us to incorporate. So I will take only 1 minute. I would like to say that many of the warehouses and many of the big like IKEA or maybe the big supermarkets, already they have started this IoT or maybe a ML based application equipments in the we can say that in the many of the warehouses or maybe in the supermarkets. So this we properly incorporated in the job roles. In coming sessions, in the slides, we will be talking about how the job roles are framed, what are the combinations are there. So this are all sir will be explaining on that. But why the main reason is that school education, we are getting into that. So then only students will get aware of that more than students, the teachers. So this is a very good feedback we got from the teachers as well as for the entire stakeholders, I can say that, from the Telangana government and Maharashtra government. So they are all very positive and they are planning to implement in the second level of World Bank project. So I'm getting here one message. So Professor, with your permission, I would like to read that. Can I LLB be promoted even among PG students? The level is very low, sir. But if it is for the PG students, that Professor, he is having some idea that he will elaborate that one.
So, madam, I think after the presentations are over, we'll take all the questions. We have planned it that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is about the school program, and we are open to start in any institute. Those who are having a schools associated with their institutions, we are ready to launch this program.
Okay, thank you, Gayatri. And I will take only 10 more minutes and then we will go for interaction. This is our portfolio of educational programs. All these are as a model I am presenting to you. And we have a program for polytechnic colleges called as Logistics Technology Diploma in Logistics Technology. We have 7 degree programs, which can be either called as BCom or BMS or BBA, depending on a particular region. And these are all on generic logistics, agri-logistics, aviation, e-commerce, EXIM and Express, land transportation, and maritime logistics. All these programs are on offer in India across the country in about 80 institutions. We also have a BTech, for BTech students, we also have introduced logistics specialization module, wherein we introduce the conceptual knowledge in semester 7 and provide apprenticeship in the 8th semester. And same way for PGDM and MBA institutions, we offer logistics specialization module from the point of view of the managerial aspects. And this is again, concepts are introduced in semester 3 and then in semester 4, we apprentice the students. Finally, a PG program MSc, which is also known as MS in certain institutions, particularly IIIT DM, MS program or MSc program in data analytics for logistics. This program, all the first 3 semesters are for learning, and then last semester 4th is for the apprenticeship. And for the degree and polytechnic diploma, first 4 semesters are learning semesters, and the last 2 semesters, 5th and 6th, are apprenticeship semesters. More on this you can see from our website. Gayatri, I request you to give the link to our microsite and then link to the NSQF level descriptors also in the chat box.
Yes, sir.
And we have designed all our programs, degree programs, based on these 4 very important norms and standard documents. One is the Gazette notification on National Skill Qualification Framework. And on this basis, all our programs, both diploma, degree, and all programs are pitched at a particular level of NSQF. Gayatri is giving a link to the NSQF level descriptors. I want all of you to download that and then have a passionate look at this. As per this document, any person in the country can be classified from 1 to 10 based on the level of skill that the person is possessing. So that you can get to know. And then there is also another document, namely UGC Gazette notification on approved nomenclature. There is another document, namely SAMVOI, Skill Assessment Matrix for Vocational Advancement of Youth. And this document is giving guidelines about assigning academic credits to the vocational degree programs. And finally, this is the latest document. UGC, after we launched our degree programs, UGC had given a guidelines for apprenticeship embedment in degree programs. This is in July 2020. And our degree programs have been designed based on this only. And when I say apprenticeship and placement, these are our experiences. 100% apprenticeship to all students had been given in all our collaborating institutions. The first batch of our degree program, first batch students have graduated in May 2022 this year. So this is how it is. And then students in apprenticeship as on date is 1,750 from our sector skill council. Monthly stipend, we were able to get minimum 9,000 rupees or a maximum of 17,000 rupees, whereas the government prescribed minimum stipend is only 7,500 rupees, whereas we were able to achieve minimum of 9,000 rupees. 70% of the final year students have already been placed with an average monthly salary of 22,000 rupees. Various supports we provide to the educational institutions, starting from curriculum development and continuous improvement as per the outcome-based education model. We also design and offer allied courses under MOOC format. You may remember that UGC is permitting this now. Learning resources, we prepare for all the domain courses because logistics is a new discipline of learning in India. It is not having adequate textbooks. We create text materials and share it through our logistics learning management system. We also secure apprenticeship training to all the students joining in this program across the country. We also secure a minimum monthly stipend of 7,500 rupees during the apprenticeship period as per a scheme called NAPS, National Apprenticeship Promotion Scheme. We also link resource persons for teaching courses for which the collaborating institutions may require. We assess the performance and learning of students while they are in apprenticeship and share that with the collaborating institutions. We also enable the students to secure final placement in the monthly salary range of 20,000 rupees to 25,000 rupees currently. We take up annual assessment of academic processes in our collaborating institutions only to ensure the effectiveness of the program implementation. This is the uniqueness of our programs. It's an initiative of two ministries, MOE, Ministry of Education, earlier it was known as MHRD, and the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. And our standard setting body is NSTC currently, and then NCVET also getting into that. The programs had been developed by the industry for the industry, and the industry cannot now say that the curriculum offered in colleges are fit for nothing. And this they were telling for the last 60 years. Now, this is a curriculum which had been created by the industry for the industry. Opportunity for life skill development is given to the students because 1 year they are taken out of their comfort zones. They live outside and they are forced to live within the means, namely 8,000 rupees or 9,000 rupees monthly stipend, which they are very efficiently doing, and they also save money and present gifts to the parents every now and then. Classroom learning is only for 4 semesters. 12 months industry experience is enabled by the Logistics Sector Skill Council. This is within the program period, not outside the program period. So when the student completes a 3-year degree program, they complete a degree plus they also acquire 1 year industry experience, which is vouched by the government certificate. They get a monthly stipend for 1 year. Apprenticeship is ensured by LSE and final placement is also ensured by us. And these are certain things which you can think whether this is suitable for your institution. If it is suitable, I think we are able to help you, we will be able to help you. One is apprenticeship is covered under direct benefit transfer scheme. And because of this, candidates admitted in this program should have valid Aadhaar, and they also have an independent bank account, PAN card, etc., etc. And every apprentice opportunity is linked only to a particular Aadhaar number, and the apprenticeship stipend is considered as a benefit which is directly transferred to the student's individual bank account rather than given it as a check or cash. And the bank account of these apprentices are linked with the National Apprenticeship Portal, and portal automatically finds whether a student gets apprenticeship regularly from the company or not. And companies are also given some incentives for each apprentices engaged by them. Every month, the government is giving them a subsidy of 1,500 rupees. That means if a company is providing 7,500 rupees monthly stipend, the government reimburses 1,500 rupees, so that the actual cost for the company becomes only 6,000 rupees a month. So that is why this is considered as a direct benefit transfer scheme. Candidates for admission into this program should definitely have a desire to work, not observe like in internship. They should have a passion for picking up skills from the shop floor level. All of you are management faculty, you know very well, management is only getting works done by the other people. And that means if we have to get works done by the other people, we should know the work. And only when we know the skill, we can get it done by our teammates. So that is another very important thing. Attitude to work in a corporate environment is essential. So for that, some maturity, mind maturity should be there in the student. Willingness to move away from the comfort zone is also very important. Understanding that HR rules only will apply during apprenticeship period, not the college calendar. Admission criteria are as per the norms of the government, the local government, and the reservation policy also applies here. And I think this is my last slide. And our programs are available. This is had been taken about 6 months back. We are present in 68 institutions across the country, and I have given the data state-wise. We have now entered into many more states also. And there are many different types of institutions with us, like we have 2 central universities with us. One is Rajiv Gandhi National Aviation University. The second one is IMU, Indian Maritime University. There are a few state universities which have launched our program in collaboration with this. Many private universities, deemed to be universities, etc. So these are all some of the very important aspect of apprenticeship embedment in degree programs. And with this, I close my presentation, and we are willing for the interaction.
So the way we will proceed in this is, Professor Ganeshan, maybe I'll have a few questions.
Yes.
All the other participants, please post your questions on the chat, and then we will take it up one by one. So Professor Ganeshan, thank you very much, for this session. My thoughts was that it was actually a lot on logistics, which I know is a growing segment, but from a skill development and the management curriculum, you did mention about apprenticeship being minimum 6 months, maximum 36 months. So typically a postgraduate management program, whether it is a PGDM or an MBA, is about 2 years. So, putting in this, embedding this apprenticeship of 6 months within a 2-year program, is going to be a challenge, and we need to kind of figure it out how that happens. That's number one. Second is, I understand the difference between an internship and apprenticeship, as you mentioned. One is more of observing, one is on really, hands-on and working on it. As an example, certainly logistics is very good. While we speak about Flipkart and Amazon, they are delivery partners like e-commerce and delivery. They themselves, over the last 15 years, particularly delivery has grown from, I think 2005 it was 40 crores. Now they are touching nearly 7,000 crores. So it's year on year, the growth has been fantastic. But coming back to management education, how do you see we can kind of embed this, in let's say a postgraduate program?
Okay, it's very simple, sir. In fact, we have already designed, and this is on offer on a test basis in two institutions. One is in Greater Noida, Lloyd Business School. The second one is in Indore, which is a state university, Devi Ahalya Vishwavidyalaya.
Okay.
So these institutions have already started this. So what we do is in the first semester of a PGDM or MBA program is a kind of introducing them the basic foundation courses. The second semester will be functional courses. Third semester will be for both functional as well as vertical elective courses. And the fourth semester, you normally provide internship, but in this case, we are converting that as apprenticeship.
Okay.
And as it is apprenticeship, now it is having a legal status. As an apprentice, this person has certain privileges, certain roles to play, certain duties to play, responsibilities, and these are all there. And this is very important for them. This is done already. And 24 credits during the last semester, fourth semester, is given only for apprenticeship. Along with that, we also provide them opportunity to pursue 2 or 3 MOOC courses relating to various subsectors of logistics. So this is well taken up in the industry. We are only restraining ourselves to give this program to more institutions, because as a pilot, we would like to see what is happening in Lloyd's Business School and Devi Ahalya Vishwavidyalaya. Maybe next year we will be contracting with more number of PGDM and MBA institutions. Another very important thing I would like to say is, when I said NSQF, I think all of you should be knowing about that. But anyway, I would like to tell you that also. UGC has already declared that every institution, autonomous institution offering some educational programs in the country should align their programs with a particular level of NSQF. This is where I have requested Gayatri to provide the link for the NSQF level descriptors, which I would like to show you now. Just a minute. Very quickly, I need only 2 minutes, because I believe that you will have your own interest and then go through that. This is NSQF level descriptors.
Right.
And it starts from level 1.
Right.
Level 1 is, you can understand, when a person has only level 1, that person will be useful only for employment as a peon. Nothing else. 2, 3, 4, and 5, all our degree programs, undergraduate degree programs, we align them with level 5. At level 5, if you see the last column, they should take responsibility for their own work, plus some responsibility for the work of their team members. That is one level. At the second level, they also should take complete responsibility for their continuous learnings and some responsibility for the continuous learning of the team members. So this is level 5. And for PGDM and MBA, we match them with the level 6. So naturally, what happens? I think this you can take. You can give this document as a challenge to your students and ask them to assess themselves where they are now. Is it level 3 or level 4 or level 5? And you can give them a challenge of helping them elevating to the next level within a particular period of time, and what they have to do so that they can climb up in this ladder. So what kind of responsibilities they have to assume. So these things as a challenge you can provide. And this is not only in India, this is there right from any developed country. All these things started only from Germany, and then Europe, entire Europe, and then the other Western countries, developed countries. Now this is there in almost all countries, thanks to ILO, International Labor Organization. International Labor Organization is creating norms and standards for apprentices and apprenticeship, and meticulously every member country is following that. That is how in India also this is done. But what is new in India is embedding this in the degree curriculum is new thing. because of thanks to NEP 2020.
So we can take some questions, sir, that have, yeah. And in fact, of course, when Professor Gayatri was speaking, there was somebody who had asked whether Professor Devaki is, whether can LLP be promoted even among PG students? Because it seems more relevant for folks looking out for job opportunities.
Okay, I would like to tell Devaki and all others that LLP is meant for school children, 9th standard, 10th standard, 11th and 12th standard. And this is very, very generic program only to introduce what logistics is and what kind of career opportunities are available in this sector. This is only done for the school children, only to develop an interest, because when we complete schooling, we also want them to know that there is an industry called logistics. And this is again optional program only. It's only a 60-hour program, 2 levels. At the first level, 10th standard, and second level, 12th standard. Only 2 levels of knowledge about logistics. As Gayatri rightly said at that time itself, this program LLP is not suitable for degree students, particularly PG students. So what we can do is, in case if you are not interested in launching our specialization stream for logistics, you can introduce a 50-hour program on logistics, so or 60-hour program, or depending on whatever hours that you have. Accordingly, we can design some programs and then give that program to you. You can do that.
Okay. Then we have another question from Professor Sipra Karmakar, whether you could kindly focus and let us know something on the seafood processing units and their employee skill development initiatives.
Definitely we can do, but seafood processing as a technology, we cannot do because we are a logistics sector skill council. For seafood, definitely there should be another sector skill council. Immediately, only the agriculture sector skill council comes to my mind, but seafood, if we browse NSTC website, we will definitely. Gayatri, do you know anything about this? For any fisheries and then milk products, do we have any SSC?
As of now, no, sir. But
Yes.
we are doing the processing after processing. We are doing the
Post to harvest process.
Post harvest cold chain technologies.
Okay.
So that is what one of the subsector that we are doing.
And we also have one of the papers, is it not? What is that paper called? Fisheries?
Cold, yeah.
In fisheries value chain, is it not?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Fisheries value chain as a paper we have. And that particular paper and content had been developed by the veterinary university in Tamil Nadu.
Okay. So if there are any more questions, the participants, you could post it in the chat and I can take that up.
I think Usha Mishra has sent a chat, but there is no question in that.
Okay. All right. Okay. So we'll wait. Would you please elaborate? There is one from Professor M. Pillai. Would you please elaborate on the OJT communication skills training plan?
Okay.
I'll just read it out. Is I'll read it out again, sir. Would you please elaborate on the OJT communication skills training plan for such courses?
Okay. Honestly, the OJT exclusively for communication skills are not available in any SSC. Communication skill is considered only as a part of the employability skills, and this is already embedded in the degree curriculum as life skill course. There is no separate OJT for exclusively communication skill. The another question is Bhartiya University.
Yeah, the question is that this is from Dr. R. Prabhu Shankar. Our B school is affiliated to Bhartiya University. LSC programs can be offered online or offline, and timings of these courses.
Okay, Prabhu Shankar, yes, we have online certificate programs on 6 different verticals of logistics, namely aviation, agri-logistics, maritime logistics, supply chain, etc. Prabhu Shankar may contact me and then we will give you the detailed document about that. This is only online program, and each certificate program has 3 courses. Each course will require 60 hours of self-paced digital learning by the students maximum. Depending on the ability of the student, a student may even complete in 20 hours. So 60 into 3 courses. So 180 hours is the total hours required for completing the one single certificate program. And for each course, there is a 2 credit, academic credits are given. So when a student completes one certificate program, the student acquires 6 academic credits.
Yes, sir. There are no more questions right now, Professor Ganeshan, but somebody has asked if you could put your email ID on the chat box so that they can reach out to you.
Yes, Gayatri, please do that.
Sir?
Gayatri, you can type your mail ID and then.
Yeah, I will do that.
I'm doing it.
Both the mail ID I will share.
Oh, yes, please.
Right. So there are no other questions, Professor Ganeshan.
Yes.
But a very interesting topic that we discussed, and for me also it was, there was so much of understanding of what you're doing and what you intend to do, because logistics is really taking on quite a bit in terms of opportunities across. Whether it is because all these logistics companies are hiring people, not only from the marketing part, but also from operations, from data analytics, data mining. So that there are just a lot of opportunities, and I think you have very lucidly put exactly how the program goes in terms of the basic courses, the fundamental course, how certain vertical, how you really take up these courses. Also, this aspect of apprenticeship, which is quite interesting, that you have tried to embed in this program, because that's where these students will get to learn, hands-on, how to kind of do it. Also, very interesting to note the framework that you have made in terms of the different levels, so that people can kind of gauge, on which level they are in that particular grid. That was really very interesting. And I think, depending on how the feedback has been with your programs in Lloyd Business School and Devi Alibai University, I'm sure there'll be a lot of takers for this particular program. So that really would be very interesting to see how it has gone. And we continue to be in touch. And thank you very much, Professor Ganeshan.
Thank you. I love talking to you, Roni, and then your